Episode 3, Chaos Theory, man. We here. Episode 3. A day late. We were supposed to be doing this yesterday.
Yeah,
Shit happens.
that's
Life
my fault.
happens.
It's my
You know how
fault. It's
hey,
my fault,
listen.
guys. Like,
Listen. Dads know.
I got
We
kids,
already know.
man. Kids come first, bro.
The only
Can't.
time I think people get mad is when they can't relate, you know?
No, it's a good thing though. I got more time with my kids, and sorry, you guys come second. It's
That's the
just,
truth, man.
it's
That's a
just
family, man.
my reality, bro. My
Yeah.
kid, maybe third, but you're before sex. Like it's like kids, money, you guys, then
Money,
sex, then
kids,
sex.
money,
Because
hand in
sex,
hand.
I don't even know what sex is anymore. I'm divorced, so sorry.
Bro, you're
Again,
supposed to be on a
not for kids.
rampage right now. You're supposed to be going.
Yeah, my rampage is like writing poetry into an endless
No.
notebook of
Bro, hold up.
the
Hold up.
frustration.
Mike, let me ask you something, bro. Are you
Yeah,
that dude over on those dating apps talking about you want to see the sunset and shit?
yeah. I need to get I need a man bun, a neck beard, a dog, a fish, and enjoy hikes.
And 7 cats maybe?
I think literally. So I have a lifetime membership to Bumble. So like when I was married and like my whole
So
life,
tell
we
me a
never.
little bit about Bumble. What is Bumble?
So it's an app,
Okay.
social like dating app.
Okay.
And I never had dating apps when I met my wife in like 2011. So like
Before all that shit, right?
we didn't, and I was fucking a unit. I wasn't ugly and fat like I am now. So like it was no problem. It's like I'm a firefighter, close the deal, right? Um but yeah, so I got divorced in like 2021, and going back into it, I'm like, man, this sucks. Like coming out of COVID and everything else, there's like no way to meet people. And my friend's like, bro, I'm closing like 5 chicks a week on this app. Just roll it. I'm like, all right, bet. So I go into it and it's like $25 a month or 300 for a lifetime. And I'm like, I got red hair. It's gonna be a minute. So I'm just gonna buy the lifetime shit. Like,
Yeah.
so I bought the lifetime membership, and it was terrible. I swiped like 600 girls at least I would have sex with, and none of them agreed. And then I found out it's you don't swipe for sex, you just swipe to show interest. But same thing, right? Like because you're going off the picture and the profile. It's like I don't be vegan. I don't care. Like I'm trying to smash. Like, and then we got to the point where it was like 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, not a single fucking reply. And then I found out
So
from a friend.
how do you know at that point that it's actually legitimate?
So,
If like nothing has worked in 6 to 9 months.
well, it just means I'm exceptionally pathetic. But that was what I was about to go into is the data. They actually released the data from all the sites. And what they found out is 18% of men, 18%. So like 1 out of 5 guys dates 4 out of 5 women. So 1 out of the 5 dudes that are on the app gets 4 out of the 5 girls' attention. You see what I'm saying? So if you're not elite, like, and I'm 6'3", 6 figures,
But
like I
let
got a
me
lot of the things,
but hear
but
me
the
out
red
on this,
hair
Mike.
did me in. So no,
Hear me out on this. That's actually the numbers in real life.
right.
That's the same
No,
correlation
I
to
get it.
like
I get it. But
yeah.
you're funneling it into like hey, there's no way to bullshit yourself. You suck. Like it's reality. And it doesn't matter that like you're big, strong, tall, like I said, money. If you don't, it's almost like YouTube. You do YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't have the right thumbnail and the right tags, you dude, that's 100% dating sites. It's not even about who you really are, it's how you sell it. You want clicks, you want engagement. So that's why you see the puppies, the beards, the fish. Like I swear to God, bro,
The
go
puppies, the beards.
no Diddy. Go look at guy fucking shit on website.
Man.
But the good thing is Bumble actually changed it literally last week or 2 weeks ago. So on Bumble, the one thing about that app, it was like women have to say yes before you can you can't even message a woman till they say yes. They changed it because it's so bad. They're like, all right, fuck it. We're gonna let everybody, like, guys can DM now, because even women are like, dude, I ain't got time for all these scrubs. Like, let a real man message me. So at least hopefully that works out better for Bumble. But I've given up. I'm pretty much celibate. So it's drunken Vegas romps, threesomes, or whatever the world brings me at this point.
All right, I gotta ask you because obviously you're kind of living it right now.
Yes, sir.
True or false? Those women need to update their photos for something within the last 5 years.
Yes. And actually, more important than recency, I'll take a photo that's 5 years old if you're over 30 and under.
Damn.
And no, if you're over 30 and like under 50, I would rather have a photo that's 5 years old than a photo that has the fucking TikTok bullshit on, the filter.
Oh,
Because at least then,
yeah.
like if you age more, because all of us are going to be our best selves when we do a dating app, right? Like when we do whatever, you want to project the best image. Like you're not, Chris Rock said it in one of his stand-ups. You're not meeting the person, you're meeting the representative. Like for like the first couple of dates, you're
Yo,
not meeting
Chris
that.
Rock, man.
He's a philosopher. He's a philosopher.
Yeah,
He's not a fucking comedian. Chris Rock is a goddamn philosopher, bro.
it's
Because
true,
he
bro.
says some real shit. Like
Real
you're
shit.
not,
Yeah.
when you first start dating, you're not meeting that person. You're meeting their representative. It's like meeting their attorney or their fucking, public relations agent. That's the best they're ever gonna be. So if there's any hesitation, get the fuck out.
Yeah, but here's the thing, dog. Like, you get the older picture when they were more youthful looking, and it was like 50 pounds difference.
Yeah.
And that's a lot.
Well,
To go
unfortunately,
from 150 to 195 for
and
someone who's 5'4", like
and
that's
we're all in a situation now where we're all fucking fat. And I'm gonna include myself, but some worse than others.
yeah, but you show who you are because
Mhm.
that's the present you. It's you. I mean, that's respectable. Putting up photos from 2013,
Yeah, that's
11-year-old photos is crazy.
no 11. No, I said 5. I
Well, I
said
mean,
5. I'll give you
5,
a
but
I
that
get
goes to show you how much leeway you're giving these people. You're like, "I'll
because
take 5
it's
years."
worse. Because it's worse. And but my point was the actual filters are worse than old because you're seeing somebody, they take away your flaws, and I'm like, look, bro, I'm a unit still. Like, I'm not as sexy as I was, but like, yeah, I have flaws. Like, I'm 45 years old. Like most of it, I am what I am. Like, I'm battle built, and I respect a woman saying, yeah, you've been through some shit. You're middle aged. That's cool, but don't show me, that perfect AI face when
Mhm.
you're terrible. Like, don't. And there's somebody for everybody. You could be terrible. You could be 600 pounds. There's somebody. I've seen dudes getting laid now that are 400 pounds. Like, and I'm not. So God bless everybody. There's somebody for everybody. My standards, unfortunately, are higher than what I actually am, like what I deserve.
There's a disconnect.
But I've always swung for the fences and I've always closed. It's few and far between, but everyone is. I do it, bro. Like that's. I don't settle for less, bro.
I respect it, Mike. I do, man.
Honestly, I'd rather jack off and spend money on a second best. That's just my facts, bro.
Damn.
Let's get into the show, brother.
All right. First topic, and this one's a rando. I wanted to start off the show with just the most random shit. Only because I figure if
Let's
this
go.
evolves into something, we just
Hey.
get weirder and weirder stories to start off the show.
Let's go, bro. I
All right,
appreciate
so
it.
this one is just a case of stupidity. Colorado woman tries to steal a pickup truck, but she couldn't drive a manual, so she couldn't pull it off. All right, so
Emmanuel, is he Hispanic? Oh,
no,
Emmanuel. Sorry, I thought you
a
said Emmanuel.
manual transmission.
I'm from
All right,
California. I hear Emmanuel. I see Emmanuel. Hola.
Colorado woman's attempt to steal a pickup truck shortly after she is released from jail on a car theft charge. She was thwarted not by officers nor the truck's owners, but by her inability to drive stick shift, according
They
to
never
Boulder
can.
cops. So you think it was a case where she got in the car, broke into the car, and didn't realize until
And then
that
figured
moment
out
that
she fucked
it wa-
around, found out. Yep.
yeah, it was one of those like 7x7, the level of the fuck around and
It's probably
find
a
out.
4-speed, like a straight H. Like, fun fact, I taught myself to drive stick.
Bro, she's literally going to prison for this, and she's being charged and everything.
So you're telling me she's white? Only white
No.
people go to jail for stealing cars nowadays.
Straight
I'm
up.
fucking with you, YouTube. Don't get mad. I'm joking. Kind of.
So apparently she actually
We're in
got the car
California.
moving. The truck started rolling and it blasted into a fire hydrant. That's how the whole thing happened.
She went full Robert Downey Jr., full retard on that. Like, No
Yo,
recovery. No recovery, bro. No
that's
recovery.
wild. It's like that Florida man, Florida woman does something
Yeah.
stupid type deal.
I have no, that's a, yeah, that's a, what do you call that? Evolutionary.
It's
Take
regression.
yourself out. Yeah.
Yeah, regression. All right, man. First
Silly
story,
shit.
like real one. Boeing.
Boeing. Wow, man. There's so much
So
to this.
I saw you post on X about this. You believe, and I'm kind of with you on this. Something fishy is going on. It doesn't add up,
Correct.
right? And you said, financial advice. Somebody should be buying these Boeing shares, right?
I'm
Like,
just, well, no, it's going to go up because there's something occurring intentionally. So, a little bit of background. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm doing like 5 things at once because I'm trying to, yeah. Anyways, I have a friend. His father worked for Boeing forever, since like this late 70s, early 80s. And he got promoted. Like he's working on their space program now and he's about to retire. But like that dude's been from here and back. And all the projects I work for the government and the Air Force and everything else, he, like, obviously we don't talk about specifics and programs and, secret shit, but like in between that, we kind of figured out what's going on with what. And Boeing, believe it or not, everybody was like, okay, space program, top secret shit. Actually, I have a picture. I'll show you guys in a second what I did. So like Boeing is really deep in the space program right now. And I've done their space capsule stuff and I'll show you a picture in a minute. But Boeing is an amazing company and they have the contracts. They're going to do a lot of space stuff that you guys don't even know is about to happen. Spoiler alert, space stuff's about to happen. Like right now, we're talking about AI, economy, inflation. I feel like after this election, we're going to get back on track and you're about to see some crazy shit. Part of that is space program. Tons of space stuff coming, guys. Trust me, you heard it here first. But anyways, Boeing, they've been refocusing all of their assets, their senior management, their best engineers on their space program. Now, their planes are so good and they've been pre-engineered that you kind of think it's on cruise control. And that might be true. And I've had some people argue politically, oh, it's DEI hires and this and maintenance. Sure, maybe. Like, I would buy that if it was like an incident or a couple of incidents. There's absolutely no way you're going to convince me that we've had now 22 incidents with Boeing since this became a trend 6 months ago. 22 in America, not third party shitty airline that they're selling, because we sell our old shit to Asia and stuff. And God bless them. I hope nothing bad happens, but it's old planes, old airframes. We use new airframes. We rate the hours. We rate the maintenance. The FAA is the best in the world at what they do. God bless them.
What?
The FAA?
The FAA is the best in the world at what they do?
Yes. Oh, you have something to say? Go ahead.
Just carry on.
The Federal Aviation Administration in the United States is better than any other aviation authority in any other country in the nation. You had something to say?
That is a horrible agency.
No.
That is a
the way they run it,
incompetent agency.
Financially, no. Okay. Organizationally, no. Keeping us safe, yes. Their track record speaks for itself.
Okay. All right.
That's my argument.
Okay, go on.
Compare our safety record to any other aviation authority anywhere in the world.
Okay, I got you.
You want to pull the data? We'll go.
No, I'm looking at it.
I'm not saying it's well run. I'm not saying it's fiscally responsible. I'm saying they keep us safe. And a lot of times in America, we paid a toll, so we don't got to worry about it.
Facts.
We deal with bullshit and we overpay for everything so that you're good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I was looking at it from the way that you said don't look at it from that way, and I was like, well, because dude, as a regulatory
every
agency,
government,
absolute trash.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
I've worked every element of the government, bro. It's trash.
Yeah.
And that's why I also don't believe in a lot of conspiracies, because we ain't that good. But we'll go. That's a whole nother show. FAA, for all their faults, they keep you safe. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, it's true. That's
okay.
True.
So my point was this: 22 incidents, 6 months, Boeing. We are beyond the realm of, I know it's election season. Everybody wants to point like, let's blame Biden, let's blame hiring minorities, unqualified people, all the racist shit and the other bullshit. I don't buy into that. There is a lot of that stupid shit that goes on though. But in this case, there's no way you get a 22 incident and 6-month report from DEI hires or whatever your conspiracy is. I am inclined to believe with zero evidence that it is sabotage or intentional, or maybe not on an individual level, intentional, but maybe there is a policy in place that allows this to take place to either intentionally tank the stock, because it's mostly maintenance, benign issues. Yeah, you could die from your landing gear not going down. That's a
Sure,
problem.
right.
That also has happened. But I
Well,
feel
they got
like
all types of components that are
I feel like
failing.
there's too much going wrong, bro.
Well,
And Boeing
there
has
was a
so much
point,
money.
Mike, there was a
Boeing,
point where it was like one thing every week.
no, it was literally
Like
for a
every
month
time I
straight.
woke
Like a
up,
month
I'm
straight.
listening to Bloomberg News and they're like Boeing back in the news cycle. I'm like,
100%,
what?
bro. 100%.
I haven't heard anything about Boeing in years.
Right. Because they're so reliable, you don't need to talk about them. It's like,
Right.
it's just like one of those things you put your money in when you're investing. Cool. I'm going to get my 2 or 3 points a year automatic. But what I'm trying to tell people, I know you have your camera off, but I don't know if you're listening.
Oh yeah.
Boeing has a big stake in the DoD NASA space race, and I'm going to show you something. Fill for me for like 30 seconds, but I'm going to show you something. And no, because I worked with SpaceX, I worked with Virgin Galactic, I worked with NASA, and I worked with Boeing. So when I tell you guys stuff on the show, understand it's coming from a point of view of not some random dude.
Give us a time frame. What are we looking at for a time horizon on some of these things?
By 2030.
Oh, so that's pretty close.
Yeah. So right now we're doing a financial economic apocalypse. I think this presidential race is going to end in a good way. And when I think we're going to get out of our own way. And here's the problem. Automatically, even if Trump wins and he has better, I'm just saying hypothetically, if Trump wins, even if he has better fiscal policy, it takes some time to get that going, but we're going to be on the right track. But I think the focus that we're going to go to is going to be space. Right now it's AI, it's economy. The next 4 years for the next term of the next president is going to be, you're going to see so much space. I promise you. Wait. I'll give you some insight here. Just fill for me for like 30 seconds.
I'm really intrigued by this, and the reason for that
and
is
I have inside information. So yes, I'm telling the truth. Go ahead.
The reason why I'm really intrigued by this is because everything they say, you know, everybody that has stories, it's always about AI. When is AI going to do this? You know, when you talk about the financial markets, when you talk about money with respect to companies investing, it's all AI based. Everybody's all worried about their jobs and everybody's worried about security and all these things. We always have to look forward. And honestly, there's been investment in space. Just I don't think people have been paying attention, Mike.
All right,
You know, it's been out there on Front Street, just nobody's paying attention.
I don't know if this is going to show because I have the virtual background. Of course not. Frick. Can I send you something you posted? How do I do that?
Yeah, just send it to my DM on X, and then I can
on X. All right, bet.
Yeah, and then I'll pull it up.
Cool. Because I don't want to show my personal, obviously, stuff. Because
just put up the image, bro.
All right, here you go.
Yeah, send it to me there.
All right, sent. So this is just one example because everybody talks crap. This is one example of me doing a Boeing training capsule. That's me in the helmet. So I'm actually out at Edwards Air Force Base in this photo. It's just one of like a million things I've done. So like we had dry beds out there. And the funny part was when the Boeing people came to us, they're like, hey, this is not really a landing site. And the state of California is going to fine us like $1 billion if we ever land our capsule here. Because you guys are like saving the whales and all this stuff. Like Newsom's out of his fucking mind, bro. But anyways, I'm like, so why are we training for this? And they're like, oh, that's just because if we have a problem, we're landing it here. After saying we're not an approved landing site at all by NASA, which we had NASA on site and we had SpaceX approved, we had Virgin Galactic approved. They're like, Boeing, we don't want your shit landed in the ocean. They're like, we're gonna land it there so we don't accidentally hit LA. Anyways, just showing that for evidence. Like, I'm the real deal. not clout, just substantiating what I talk about.
Gotcha.
Proceed.
All right.
What do you think? You don't think there's any possibility of sabotage or anything like that?
Oh, I think it's very likely. I to me that
It's too
doesn't
much,
seem.
right? Like,
Yeah, it does.
it's a little
I'm
bit
telling you,
crazy.
for years there was not a freaking mention of Boeing, and then all of a sudden it was a weekly thing. And it, like you were like one of the things we're going to talk about is targeting, right?
Sure. Yep.
Targeting big industry,
Yes, sir.
big tech and stuff like that. I think Boeing is something along those lines. I think it's just targeting. It's like they decided to do this. Like,
It's orchestrated. It feels
yeah.
very orchestrated, man. So
Well, I mean,
you
who
saw
makes
my
those?
post. I said buy Boeing stock. I said buy the
Yeah,
dip
yeah,
because
yeah. But it's
I
one hell of a
know,
dip for a stable company like that. That is one hell
but
of a dip.
bro, I worked with these companies. I know the contracts they have that are they have black contracts like Boeing.
There's no company like Boeing with that reach and that
So
position.
SpaceX has all the Mars stuff, but there's stuff intermediary to that. We're going back to the moon, for instance. Boeing has like 70% of that. I'm telling you, like, buy Boeing. Not financial advice,
Not because that's what you got to say.
but I literally worked with these dudes. They're blowing up the spot, like more than any of the black contractors.
Actually, you know what? Let's pivot. Let's go over to that whole like targeting concept because
Let's
we
do it.
just talked
Let's do
about
it. Yeah,
Boeing.
let's go.
Okay. All right. This story is out of Reuters. This one's from like a couple months ago. Google, Apple, big tech. I would say that basically they're the target of breakups. They're the target of regulation. Like I look at the European Union and what they do. You've got a bunch of uninformed elderly folks that are trying to regulate big tech. They really don't even know what they're talking about or what they're doing. They just know that they don't want big tech to be powerful, but I don't think they realize how much power they have. Otherwise, I think they put up the white flag. They realize they're in too deep. But
You never saw my stand up about that, right? Where if you can't operate an iPad, you shouldn't hold office.
dude, but it's true though. Like the one guy, I forget who the senator was. He's holding up an iPhone and he's talking to the dude from Google, the CEO. He goes, "Why are you guys tracking me?" He's like, "You're holding up an iPhone. We make Google phones."
Yeah, exactly.
They don't even know. They're not even
But to be
connected to
fair,
the.
most Apple phones have Google services also.
But that's
Yeah.
besides the point. Like his response was golden. He's like, "You don't even know who sells your device."
Mhm.
And that's a point of contention is you've got these people who literally don't even know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they're
They
so
they're
out of well, we could go into term limits, gotta retire by 75. Like we said 100 things in a motion that would fix like half our political problems overnight. And they're basic. Because there's no way you're 80 and you understand emerging technology. Not
so
possible.
when
Not
that
possible.
person, think about it like this, Mike, when that person was in school,
Mhm.
they were on chalkboards.
Yeah.
Like that was just installed. That was the new tech, new shit, bro.
Dude, my black friends
Like
wouldn't even be in
different
my class when a lot of these fucking people were in class.
like the
Like,
the new technology was different colored chalk.
yep.
You know what I mean? And they were vacuuming the erasers.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? Like
Yeah, they got beat by their teachers. Yeah, I get it.
so they're from a different time. They're
Yep.
people at a time, but they
And
make decisions.
they were
And really what it's not even that they make decisions. They pretend like they're making decisions, but really they're just standing by letting shit happen.
so here's where I read in between the lines. They're not going to win against Apple or Google. This antitrust stuff is there's not what they saw was here's what happened. The EU won because in the EU they don't have fair laws. In the United States, shit's as messed up as stuff is, it's pretty fair. Like you at least get your day in court.
Well, a good
You get a
lawyer
jury. You get
gets you in a resolution
the
is what
problem
it
is
is.
in the EU that's not the case. Like in the EU, they their parliament or I don't know all their positions, but like their parliamentary people can just declare shit and they don't have a Supreme Court that like checks it. So in the EU, they're like, that's unfair, Apple, add a USB-C. And they're like, well, fuck, I guess we better do that. Like, like that's all there is. There's no like appellate court or whatever. And I feel like this was the US version of, hey, we see you guys, we know you're getting taxed, donate to our campaign. And I know that's like nefarious, but what other, like, does anybody really believe Apple's super popular? And I'm a troll. I'm an Apple hater. I'm a troll. So like, admittedly,
But
but
you
like,
use Apple products, so you
I
can say
do,
what you want.
no, I do. And I'm qualified to make those
Right.
jokes, trolls. But what I'm saying is they make good products and they're useful. They do, they do perform some very crazy things, like, you know, the iMessage debacle. But at the end of the day, they make good products. They're not doing anything illegal. There's no reason, because they had a good idea and they did it better, they should be screwed. Like, honestly, I troll it, but it's best. So to me, the message is loud and clear. Apple, donate to us and we'll keep you in the clear.
Yeah.
Honestly, I swear to God, like, that's what I feel like.
It's
Do
kind of
you
what it
do you
is. I mean,
disagree? Or I mean,
no, no, not really. I'm gonna
like,
tell you why.
because
I'm gonna tell you
I
why I
don't
agree
even
with
like
you.
Apple as a company, but I don't like them because they're so like holier than thou. I don't like their political
But that's
socio mess.
this is
But
the
like,
MO right
that's,
now. This is the
yeah,
way it
I
is.
get
Like
it.
a
I get
company
it. And
gets
that's why
really
I tolerate it.
powerful. A
Yeah.
company is really good at what they do. They just want to break shit up, bust shit up just to say they accomplished something.
Right.
There are literally lawyers out there
Mm-hmm.
who literally just want to be the ones to disrupt.
Yeah.
They just want to say, I'm the one who did this, or
You
I'm the
do
one who
all
did
this,
that.
but you won't secure our borders and you don't fix the economy and you don't.
They just want to be the ones to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like a feather in the cap. That lady that's trying to bust up Amazon. Like she just
Wasn't
wants to
that
watch the
Bezos'
world.
wife? I'm joking.
No, no, bro, they're on
I
good
know.
terms. She
I'm
didn't bust
joking.
up
I'm
nothing,
joking.
man.
By the
Yeah,
way,
she
Melinda Gates left the Gates Foundation today,
officially.
officially,
I think
because
that was rumored, and she said she was gonna do it.
Bill Gates lost his shit and he's trying to like take over the world with bio. That dude's about to die, bro, and he's just gonna take us all with it. Anyway, I'm joking. Joking.
No,
Don't
you're
sue me.
not. No,
Don't
you're
sue me, Bill.
you know
I'm a
it's true.
I'm a comedian. I'm allowed to tell jokes. It's not slander. It's jokes. It's fucking jokes, Bill. Also, don't kill me.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
there's a lot of I mean, they just want to win.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They just want to
Absolutely.
win, and they want to be the one to win. You know, the notoriety, the name record. Like if they, let's say they shoot for 100 and they get 90, they're thrilled.
Yeah.
You know,
You
that's
get
all
what
it
you get.
is.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's just so contrived. It's a leverage. It's a
They
leverage
always
thing.
end up
Like,
settling. They always end up on some kind
it's
of
a
a
tax. It's a tax,
yeah,
bro.
some
Like,
kind of deal negotiation happens and they compromise or whatever. You know, and I think about the USB-C, for example. I mean, the USB-C is the best thing to ever happen to a charging standard. It's fast, it fits perfect. You don't have to fumble around with it. All your stuff
but
can run on
doing it,
USB-C.
under the guise of like saving packaging and helping the environment,
Oh, they're full of shit.
it's completely
Bro,
bullshit.
we're
Like,
literally talking about the company
none of that stuff is
that
real,
built
bro.
a solar farm in Ivanpah and like killed like 10,000 desert tortoises just to build solar
You can't
panels.
do that in Nevada, bro. So, like, true story. I worked for the government in the state of Nevada at a very high level. And they were like, you guys can do whatever you want to get the mission accomplished. Just, and we're talking like we basically had no oversight in this mission. And they're like, if you hit a turtle, you're paying like thousands. Like,
There's a
and you
fine
might
for each turtle.
do thousands. And they take it where it doesn't matter if you're a government contractor, a GS worker, like whatever. You mess with a turtle in Nevada, I don't care if you're in a freaking top secret program, they're taking money out of your check. Like, they don't mess with desert tortoise in Nevada. I'm just saying, I've seen it, I've witnessed it. It's like people die, cool, we'll like make a waiver. Hit that turtle, you got to pay the dims. Like, I'm
Damn.
just saying, bro, they don't mess with the desert tortoise in Nevada at all, bro.
So that the biodiversity protections are real.
I'm telling you firsthand, I've had access to almost, protected lands. They do not play. You do not hurt
What
the
other
environment about it.
what other animals are of high protection and high order?
So there's only certain, like the way they move the wild horses in the burrows or whatever. There's like only certain seasons you can move them off their feeding ground. Like there's, and they, dude, they implement this all the way to like national security sites. Like they actually care, and they actually, I shit you not, I've seen the most insane enforcement of this. They literally protect the animals, and I can't speak for everywhere, but in the state of Nevada, they protect the animals everywhere, bro. Like
My friend
your
works
site doesn't matter.
my friend works in the telco industry.
Right.
He's a technician on like cell towers and stuff. They can't touch cell towers that have nests with eggs in them.
Yeah.
Like let's say it's like osprey and they got like 2 eggs in a nest. Like the guys just want to replace the radios and put new antennas and stuff like that and rip out all the old cables, put new cables. They can't touch anything until those eggs are hatched and the babies are gone. And those osprey and all those birds, dude, they're at every freaking site. They nest everywhere. And you
Mhm.
can't touch anything. So you got all these upgrades you got to do. You can't
Yep.
do your job
No,
because they're
it's a real
protected. Like you're
and that's
literally going to prison in the
and
state of Ohio if you touch those nests.
and here's the thing, it's not even like who's the president or nothing, dude, because we did it under Obama, we did it under Trump. Like it's not even a political issue. Like all the BS going back and forth about standards and whatever, the environment stuff, they actually do a really good job of enforcing it. Like really good. And everything I've ever witnessed. So for how inefficient
This
government is,
goes
I've
back.
been
You know what
impressed.
where
Like,
this dates back to, Mike? This dates back to when like the American bald eagle was endangered. So like that era, like 1970s.
is that when it was?
Like that's like it goes back to when they first banned like DDT in the US. You remember that pesticide that people were
I know
spraying,
there
everybody
was
was
a
getting
big push
cancer?
like around bicentennial, but I didn't know if it was political or it actually meant something.
Yeah, I mean,
1976, like that
yeah,
era.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's been going on for a long time. They're really serious about like the biodiversity protections. It goes back decades.
lots of Karens.
I mean, it's pretty crazy considering that people pretend to care about biodiversity, but they want solar panels and wind turbines and they're fucking up all the bats and the birds. You know what I mean? Seriously, their migration patterns go right through those things. I mean, hell, even the beamforming that they use in the deserts for the solar energy, I mean, it's frying everything that flies through those things. So, I don't know. You could always just get by with some nuclear power and be cool. There won't be any birds or bats falling out of the sky. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's just
for
water
sure.
vapor.
Well,
Oh man.
Bill Gates' new thing, he wants to shield the whole world with a cloud.
Yeah, that's gonna solve all the issues. EM
Leave it
Tech said
alone, Bill. Leave us alone, Bill. I got like
EM
20 years to live if I'm lucky. Just let it go, bro.
you got
Like
about 30. Come on, man.
with the exposures I've had, no, absolutely not.
EM Tech said I heard osprey nest triggered a visceral response.
When I hear Osprey, I think of that shit box helicopter marine.
Oh
Dude.
yeah, yeah, that's
Like
right. Yeah.
I've been on
Yeah.
a few of those. Those are fucking death traps, dude.
Dude,
The
but they
Osprey.
always use them in movies.
Yeah, but they're like the number one death trap.
It's always like that huge sound effect, woo, 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 and it's like
It's like
circling
1
around.
out of
slow
8.
motion.
It's like normal airplanes, like 1 out of 100 crash, like 1 out of 8 Ospreys crash.
Dude, I
I don't
never
know
get
if
in
that's a
one.
real number, but I was a crash rescue guy. Shit, it's crazy.
All right, you're gonna like this one. We're gonna pivot to the next
Is there
topic.
nudity? I'm in.
No, man.
Oh,
Well, maybe. It
I
depends
don't
if
like it
what's
that
going
much.
on in this house, bro. I don't know.
I don't like it that much. It's just
All
no
right.
nudes.
Why buying a house feels impossible right now. Mike, you want to start with this one?
Where do I start? When I was
Start
your
with
age, uphill both ways.
start with someone who's 30 years old and wants to buy a house.
So there's 3 different ways I look at this. The first one is the argument that, and I've replied to this in a lot. In the old days, when you were 20 years old and you moved out of your parents' house, you could just move into a house or pay your own rent. No, the fuck we couldn't. I left my house in 1998. I needed 3 roommates to pay
You know
rent.
what? I saw this on your ex. I saw that that
No,
tweet or
it's
that post.
100%.
Yeah.
Our rent was like $2,000, and we needed, because of what we made back then was dog shit. And
You needed 3 guys to make that rent?
here's the thing. Everyone's like, no, hey, you guys ever heard of a show called Three's Company? You know what the show was about? It was about
3
three
random people
people
trying to pay
living
rent?
because they couldn't afford the rent in 1978 as adults at 30 years old. So spare me the bullshit, Gen X.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. It's not a new concept to not be able to afford housing.
And I say Gen X is not the ones complaining. I say Gen X, like, we need to tell people, apologize, cough. Like Gen X, like, our job is we're myth busters. That's what we're here for. I'm going to choke myself. We're myth busters because the boomers lie and the younger generation doesn't know any better. Gen X, we are here to see the transition and the difference. I got to grab water. 1 sec.
It's interesting. He used the word mythbusters to describe a generation of people. We're kind of like the in-betweeners, right? So you've got a generation of folks where everything was perfect for them. They accrued all this wealth. They have it all. They tell you how everything is perfect. Nothing needs to change. Everything is cool. But then they tell you how bad all the new generations are. And then these new generations, like Mike was saying, is they don't know any better because they have no experience to pre-existing eras, right? And they're not listening to the old timers. So they have no connection to any of that shit that was in the past.
So I guess, yeah, no, what all I was trying to say was, like, it's always been hard, you guys. Is it harder right this moment? Yes. Right now it's harder. But guess what? The last
Yeah, but it's been harder for a long time.
No, I disagree. Interest rates at 2 to 5%, or below 5%, 2 to 3 or 4. That went on for like 15 years, dude.
Yeah, but interest rates is not the only thing. Look at the wages. Hold on a second, Mike. Hold on a second.
Go ahead.
And there's a generation of college graduates
I got you.
that graduated between 08 and 2013 that have no money and no wealth, absolutely nothing. To this day, they still have nothing. All they have is debt. The debt got worse. That's what they have.
Okay, so the reason that
so rates didn't matter. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, but there's an explanation. The problem was millennials. I'll pick them out particularly. Millennials were raised with an unrealistic expectation. The problem is millennials were raised on the heels of Gen X, mostly between boomers and Gen X, depending on when you were born. And there was a disconnect because things were not easy, but if you follow the path and you did what you're supposed to do, you could make it. We raised millennials, say, just go to college, get out of college, you'll make money, you buy a house, and you'll be good. That's not how it worked.
It's not happening.
College fell off. College fell off between 2005 and 2015. The gap between skill jobs and college jobs decreased. Meanwhile, more people went to college and didn't get any return on that investment. This is the argument for forgiving a lot of the college loan debt right now, part of it. Unfortunately, your parents, nobody knew better. It wasn't some conspiracy to screw millennials, but people just didn't know how the economy was going to change, because 2010 to 2020 was like the first time we had a full taste of a full technological, mobile, and portable economy. That has never happened in the history of the world, anywhere in any country at any time. And it resulted in some bad stuff. So what it mostly primarily happened was people lived outside their means. They wanted the car. They did, and low interest rates inspired people, buy the car you can't afford, do this, take the vacation, accrue the debt. And it's backfiring now. So we got to reel it back in. But unfortunately, millennials are in the, I don't blame them. I crap on, jokingly a lot about, you didn't walk uphill both ways, being an old guy. But the reality is it's not their fault, dude. They just got caught in being told the wrong thing. And now they're having to adjust on the fly. So, like, I don't know how you fix it exactly. But what I can tell you is, going forward, we need interest rates to go down. House prices are not going to go down. And when interest rates go down, guess what's going to happen to house prices?
Well, the bigger problem was
They're going to
the
go
sup
up.
the supply of homes,
Right.
right? When people were in the market to buy, they couldn't find one. They had to outbid the next person who was already offering above list.
Right. And
So
the number one thing, no, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say the average home was probably selling 10 to 20% above list.
Mm-hmm.
That prices a lot of people out, especially first-time home buyers.
Now, I have a kind of distorted view. Not that I'm not realistic, but I've always lived on a coastal city or Vegas, which is kind of like California light. If you live within like 500 miles of a coast, you're getting screwed on property, like probably taxes and everything. That's just the way it works. And so, like, if I went to some crap hole state like Ohio, I could like ball out. I'm joking, Ohio. I just said that for obvious reasons. But like, if basically my rule is this: if they ever have tornadoes there or floods, you can ball. Like, it's easy. Like, that's our joke from the West Coast and the East Coast. It's like, but there's something to be said that people want to be part of like where it's at, where it's a good weather, where it's a good schools, and mostly it's the good weather because a lot of the shitty schools are in good weather places, Florida, California. But you know,
It's true. It's true.
I'm just saying, you're an educator, you know what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
being a rich area doesn't mean rich education. It just
No,
means
not at
it
all.
feels good when you go. That's all.
It just means you don't have to wear a coat to school. That's all it
Right.
means.
It's like year-round shorts. We're good. But you get what I'm saying, man. I
Yeah.
don't know what the answer is, but the one thing we could do is, and I'm not going to make it political, but we need stability back. And right now, I feel like there's so much gotcha and tribalism, like what we talked about in the previous show with politics. It's like, can we just get some freaking moderate stability and screw all these people on the extremes of both sides? Like, I just want a good life. And I know most of you do too. And we're letting the loudest bitching in the room from both sides run us all. Like, we need to stop that shit and just get back to the basics. Be constitutional, follow the law, put shoplifters in jail so we don't have to keep closing stores, stabilize the economy, back our allies, and like, let's go from there. Can we try that for a couple years and stop trying to appease fringe groups politically and economically? And I love I don't give a shit what you are, who you are, but when you try to appease a fringe group or a small percentage group, kind of screws the masses. Why do you think homogenous groups in most countries have no crime and no debt and no problems? It's rare, but you go to a place where everybody's kind of the same with the same religion and the same beliefs, things are good. We're in America. We have a million different things converging, and I get that.
So
So
basically, you're
let's
saying
go
it
to
could
the
even
base.
be worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm saying as long our best bet as Americans, we're never going to have an
Perfect
utopia.
harmony.
We're not going
Right.
to have utopia in America because no one's ever going to agree. But what we can do is basics: security, safety,
Mhm.
economic stability,
Mhm.
education.
Most
Keep
people are
people
happy with
safe.
those
Like,
things as long as they're there. They're
that's what I'm
happy.
saying. You
Yeah.
figure out your
Yeah.
own fucking family, bro. Like, we're not gonna fix. We're not gonna fucking babysit. But like, I don't want me or my kid getting shot, going to store, going to school. Let's fix that. Like,
Mhm.
I don't want 8% interest rates for a house. I don't
Let's
want
fix that. Right.
people flooding over the border and I don't know who the fuck they are. Like, these are basics, bro. Like, it's not even, it shouldn't even, they've made it all political, but these are human things. Like, I don't want shit going on that is going to mess with our life or my kid's life. Like,
I mean, to me, it
because,
just sounds like security and safety is really all you care about.
well,
I
that's
mean,
just,
yeah,
that's
economy
at a
economy,
top
that's
level. Yeah.
financial security, right? So, like,
I
yeah,
mean, on a
keeping
day-to-day basis, I carry a gun because the cops are reactive. Like, I'm in the streets, whatever. I'm not a bad person. I don't do bad things. I don't do stupid things. I'm polite. I tip well. I'm kind to everybody in the street. But there's crazy in the world. So I feel like it's derelict of my duty as a father to not be prepared to protect my family. So I
let me
do
ask you
that.
something, Mike. Let me ask you something, bro. So
Yeah.
I'm an educator, man. Should they be giving us pistols, bro?
There's two answers to that question. And here's the thing. I don't think you should force teachers to do that.
No. If they say, would you
But
like
if
to have
they
a
gave you the
firearm?
option,
Yeah.
absolutely. You know why? Because you know what the difference between being a cop and being a teacher is as far as the background check? Credit. So, like, I was a police cadet. I've worked with cops. I know 100 cops. I know DAs. One of the main things that they do to qualify a police officer is not their physical acuity. It's not even the stupid ass basic ASVAB light tests they take. It's their background. And the number one indicator if someone's under 25 is their credit score. So if you have good credit and you're crazy, you're probably going to make it. Like being a teacher, it's more about, okay, you didn't touch kids, you're good. You know, you don't have crimes. Like you got a degree, you're good. It's kind of the same thing. So like what makes, to me, everybody is as trustworthy as your worst day. You have a breakdown, you have a shit day. I don't know how many times we've seen cops. Remember Chris Dorner, that SWAT guy in LA that went crazy and killed
Yeah.
all those people?
Yeah.
Went up to, you never know, bro. I know military
Just
guys that
happens. Yeah.
they were heroes,
Mhm.
heroes, and then one day they lost their shit and killed their whole
That's
family.
that Mike, that's humans, man.
That's what I'm saying. You can
That's
never
humans.
really, but I'm saying we can never really know. So yes,
Mike,
I think teachers
guess what
should be allowed if they want to. Yes.
guess what we got?
What, a
Our
guess?
first ever guest
All right,
on
let's go,
Chaos Theory.
Chuck. I
What
see.
up, Chuck? What up?
What up?
How you doing, brother?
Dude, just up late tonight.
Listen, man. We covered a couple topics tonight. What you got for me? Pick one. Give us your take, or if you got any questions or comments, go ahead.
Oh, man, there's a lot. Let
Pick
me
one.
pick one.
Pick one. We did the buying a house story. We
Right.
did the the
Buying
regulations
a
and things.
house.
Yeah, go
Man,
ahead.
that just comes down to timing. One of my coworkers, right before I moved to St. Louis, he was telling me about how he bought a house, sold it like ridiculously cheap, $40,000. Said
It's like half
I
a
lived in
car.
that same neighborhood. It's going for about 120,000 on average now. So that's just missing it by like a couple years.
Why do you think that is, Chuck? Why do you think the price has gone
Does
up?
location matter in this case, Chuck?
I think it's just availability. There's nothing available right now.
So that's like one of the very few homes available in that community, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Supply
because-
issue, right?
Got it. Are you on coastal land? Are you midland?
In St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Been
He's
there.
literally in the middle of the country, all right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even the Midwest, which I was just kind of jokingly shitting on, has tripled its equity.
Yeah.
Nice.
Literally
nice.
within the last 3 years.
Yeah, if you bought a house like pre-COVID, like say 2018, 19, your property value has probably up 70% in the last 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
And you probably haven't put a dime into the house.
Yeah.
It just went up in value. Now your property taxes went up too,
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
right? So
And
you've gone
insurance has
Sure.
gone through the roof too, bro.
absolutely. I mean, I think between home and auto, insurance is just a monster. I mean, my insurance policy through my employer, I mean, we've had to renegotiate 3 times in 4 years. We haven't been able to get those 2-year deals. So yeah, man. The other angle to that, you were talking about like supply. You had first-time homeowners, you have people that are flipping houses, you have people that are trying to make money off of house sales. It's just a giant hustle.
I think the
And-
biggest problem is these large corporate rental agencies. When I lived in California,
Yeah.
just about every, at least where I lived, every rental property was all through the same company, and they were pieces of shit.
They bought half the county.
Yeah. So it's like
Mm.
you get rid of those. It's like, okay, I don't mind the individual landlords own 1, 2, 3 properties, but when you get these huge corporations that own 1,000, 5,000 houses, it's like they're the ones taking up all the property.
So I was talking to Siova about this. This was like 2 or 3 years ago. And there were a bunch of vacant buildings and rental properties in New York City, and the people that own them would rather sit on them and not even have them occupied than to take less money than what they were pushing for. So let's say the rent at a location was like 10 grand a month. They would not take 8,000. They'd rather sit there and leave it vacant for 3 years until they got 10,000 a month.
So you're saying you hate Israel? I'm joking.
Is that the math on that?
That's a backdoor Jew joke, but I can do that because my kids are Jewish. But
isn't that crazy though? He's like, I really don't get what I'm seeing. And they stayed vacant. They just refused. How's that better though?
It's all basically, what's that word? Basically, they're all colluding together just to keep property values up.
But I think it comes to the point where if you're not willing to pay and you're gonna stand by that philosophy and you're gonna stand on that, then fuck them. Don't give in and don't pay it. I told my wife when we were shopping for a house, there's a very definitive amount of money I'm willing to spend on a mortgage. I'm not going over that just to make you happy. Because if I have to get a 7th job, I'm gonna die. And I don't exist anymore. So is that better? Or you just really have to have that house that's that much more expensive?
that's why I quit working.
Because you don't want to die?
More problem, more money, more problems, more stress.
No.
Better just be poor and do whatever you want. That's
Or do
Gen
none
Z
of what you want.
I do whatever I want. I'm hunting UFOs.
Are you successful?
No, not yet. But I'm gonna make it one day.
Yeah.
You got any? Go ahead. Hey Chuck, you got anything you want us to answer?
Oh, and by the way, Chuck, give us some feedback. Have you watched any of the 3 episodes?
No,
besides
don't
this
ask
one?
that. This is gonna end bad. Don't ask him what he thinks.
No, you have to,
Yeah.
and I'm going to tell you
No,
why.
he's gonna
He
say
could
it's
tell
not.
us. He could tell us we suck.
Well,
and
we
then-
already
and
know
then-
we suck. That's besides the point.
This is the first one I caught.
Okay.
Oh.
All right.
So this
didn't
was
even
our
know you were
worst show.
doing
We're like
another-
we're way better most of the time. This one was
Yeah, I
crap.
didn't even know you
Like,
had another podcast going.
Yeah, this one we just decided. I mean, I think me and Mike, we were just talking one day and we're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
it's like it's
We're-
either that or heroin. I don't know.
Hey, and literally the idea was we're just gonna talk about UFOs, man.
About to blow up the spot, bro. Thanks for coming on, Chuck.
Thanks,
Okay.
Chuck. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
All right. Mark said, if one price or appraisal changes, surrounding properties have to change as well. I don't know, man. It's not that clear. It's not that
Not
obvious.
one. It takes more than one actually, because that's why you do comps, because you need multiple. So they average them out. So one could change it to a degree, but not going to change it completely.
Yeah, he's talking about price fixing. I don't know, man. I
When
saw a
you
lot
went
of vacancies.
Mark's in NorCal too. Mark, you're in Northern California, right?
Yeah, he's in California. Yeah. How different on
Who's
a percentage?
Mark? Sounds racist.
How different North Cal from SoCal? I mean, is it like
Big-
2 different
Big
worlds?
different. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
big different. I lived in both, so I know it's big different. Right?
I have some associates that live in like central California. I'd say probably like 2 hours north of LA.
What,
right.
like Santa Barbara?
Yeah, like right around there. I forget the name of the little town they live in. You basically like you can't do anything there. Like everything is restricted.
Oh, that's
like,
most of the Central Coast. You gotta be. You don't drink wine, or you're not old between like Bakersfield and Lompoc.
I forget the
Ain't a
name of
lot
this
to do
little
out
town.
there, bro.
Yeah, I forget the name of it, but it's like it's in that area.
Fresno,
like-
Fresno's way north. That's the meth capital of California. That's where Nate Diaz is from.
Oh, you're talking about Stockton and all that?
Yeah, bro. That's like the hood of NorCal, bro.
Yeah, man. By the way,
See,
shout out,
what's good?
shout out to Nate Diaz and Nick Diaz, bro.
I love
Those
those
dudes
guys,
are
man. The zero fuck giving is like the shit.
I remember when Nick Diaz was talking about how when he trains and he's got to like run through his neighborhood and there's cigarette butts all over the ground.
I got a buddy who's friends with Nick, like he's real close to him, and he's like, we went to a party one night, and it was a strip club actually, and he was there, and then Floyd was there with like his money team. It was weird. It was fucking weird, dude. Like there was like this. I don't know, but he's everything I hear is good. I don't know him personally, but I heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, he
Good
seems
guy.
like a good dude.
guy.
He's just a little
Yeah.
socially,
Yeah,
weird in
like,
front of the
but he
camera.
I heard he keeps it 100 with the crew. So
Oh, for sure. Well, I was watching that. There was like a fight. I think it was Bellator. Not the UFC, but like the thing under the UFC, the other promotion. And
what
like
do we even call that anymore?
Bellator.
Yeah, okay.
Whatever's not the UFC, the thing that wants to be the UFC but can't be.
Yeah.
So
The
you got Habib.
WNBA.
Yeah, you got Habib and those guys.
Caitlin Clark's in that, right?
Yeah. Habib and his crew from Dagestan, the guys that wrestle bears.
Yeah, the guys that don't pay their taxes.
I don't even do they
You didn't see that news?
here?
He owes like one dude. So Habib, that dude owes like $2.5 million to Russian tax agency.
Oh, they're gonna be on his ass.
So Dana White's like, I got you, just come fight. I got your tax bill.
One fight, your tax.
Think about it. He's like, I'm retired. I'm never fighting again on my father. And he's like, well, you owe $3 million. He's like, you better fucking.
You might want to come back.
You might want to fucking fight.
What? There was a boxer who came.
If I owe $2.5 million, I'd fucking fight.
You do one more fight.
I'm just saying. I'll fight somebody for 10 grand. I'll probably get my ass kicked, but fuck.
Yo, you know what? We should talk about that real quick, Mike. We got a few minutes. Tyson versus Paul.
Oh God, I'm so.
They're wearing helmets, dude.
No, they're not.
Oh, they decided not to wear helmets.
No, what are you talking about? Helmets?
I heard that was in the
headgear?
rules.
No,
yeah, headgear.
No, absolutely not.
Okay,
there was. Right, I saw it. Well, okay. The Tyson camp. Go check his X feed. It's in there where he specifically says we're not. It's a pro fight, and it's sanctioned. Pro fight sanctioned.
Where's the fight?
Texas, I believe.
Texas. Okay.
I could be wrong, but I believe it was Texas. Austin.
Okay.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think.
Well,
in any case, it's a pro.
Fight, so it doesn't matter.
It's a pro sanctioned fight. Everywhere in America, that means no headgear. It counts.
Okay. All right.
So unless they were lying or retracting, but it doesn't really matter the circumstances. For me, you notice all the stuff Tyson's posting is 2-second clips of him throwing.
Now you know why that is.
Yes, because
he can't do it for more than 2 seconds.
Right. If I posted me at my gym and I cut it to 2 or 3 seconds, you would think I was ready to go fucking.
Bro, they did that shit with Stephen A.
You
Smith.
would think I'm gonna beat the Gypsy King, bro.
Like they did. I'm
telling you right now. If you watch me on a heavy bag for less than 10 seconds, I'm a big, strong dude. You would be like, oh my God, that dude's gonna knock out everybody. Bro, 45 seconds, I'm gonna be on the floor trying to breathe. Like I'm just real talk. So did you ever watch the Tyson Roy Jones shit like 6 years ago?
Yeah, I did.
He looked terrible. And he was out after the second round. Neither of them can stand up. And these are pro. You're going to tell me
but they're 30, 40 years removed from their prime.
No. And I'm not judging on that. What I'm saying is,
I get it. But what's your expectation? Mike Tyson,
it's going to show up 6 years after gassing in the second round and fight Jake Paul, a 27, 30-year-old, whatever he is in his prime. Bro, I would fight Mike Tyson right now with no fear. Would he beat my ass? Absolutely. But would I have fear? No. Because I would just run. None. I would just run from him for 2 rounds, bro. If I get caught, I get caught. Whatever, you're getting a check. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Yeah.
I met the dude in person. He's not that big. He's small. He's very small, dude. Like, of course, I met a lot of people in real life, and you realize don't meet your heroes, right? Because I'm like, you guys are. I'm a bigger guy. I'm 6'3", 270. But like, I meet guys, and I'm like, you guys are tiny. And I get it. They would kill me. I get it. I'm not saying they wouldn't, but I wouldn't be afraid. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have that fear factor when you met a man in life, and you're like, I let him knock me out for $10 million.
When did you meet Mike Tyson?
About 7 years ago.
Yeah, you didn't meet him when he was the scariest dude in the world.
No, of course not. I'm just saying now, I'm almost 45. If they wanted me to fight Mike Tyson for $1 million, I'm going right now.
Yeah,
I'll grab
yeah.
Chipotle on the way there
Facts.
and not be
Yeah.
afraid. Because the worst thing that's gonna happen, he's not gonna kill me.
No, he's gonna knock you down.
Cool.
Yeah.
Bet. Give me
Check.
my money.
Yeah.
But I think if I was 22-year-old me versus Mike Tyson right now, he wouldn't knock me out. And there's no way to quantify that. I get it. But like knowing me and my athleticism and what I could do in my 20s, not a fucking chance. Like, not a chance. And my friends will.
I don't think, Mike, I don't think
but
people realize how old he is.
he's almost 60, bro.
Yeah, I think people are forgetting that.
And I'm not saying that to Mike Tyson was the baddest man on the planet.
Yeah, I know, but
Top
you
5
can't
fighter of
escape
all
his
time.
age. Like I'm
Like-
worried about him getting knocked the fuck out and it really hurting his head.
I'm telling you right now, Jake Paul, they're going the distance. No one's getting knocked out. Save this clip. No one's getting knocked out. They're going the distance. Mike Tyson's going to open up hard. Jake's going to weather the storm because they want it to look good. Second, third round, Mike Tyson's out of gas, and Jake's just going to pick at him because he's not going to be able to finish Mike, and he's not really going to want to out of respect. And also, I'm sure
Out of
there's a contractual. I'm telling you, bro,
Out
because
of
Mike
respect?
Tyson would not take this fight without a guarantee his legacy is not going to be tarnished. I'm telling you. I'll put it this way. Let's revisit. When's the fight? July?
Yeah.
Okay. Listeners, followers. It's going the distance. Mike Tyson will gas after the second round. No one's getting knocked out. Jake Paul will pick at him. Mike will have like 4 flurries that will show in his 3-second clips. And they're both going to make a shitload of a bag.
Yeah.
Book the ticket.
Yeah.
No, Mike Tyson is not flipping any switch, bro. Not a chance.
I have no idea
No.
where that comes from, why people really thought that was
No,
going to be
bro.
the case. I don't know, man.
Hey, if it's right here, it's recorded. It's gonna be here, and we're gonna pull it up. And if I'm wrong, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna eat a shit sandwich, and I'm gonna be like, "Fuck."
Yeah, but
Mike,
what you're
Mike knocked his
saying,
ass out.
but
I'm
what
telling
you're-
you guys facts, bro.
But what you're
Like,
saying is the most logical outcome.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you the way this. He couldn't
agree.
knock out Roy Jones. He couldn't fight Roy Jones for 3 rounds. They hugged it out. You're gonna beat a fucking prime 28-year-old? No. No, you're 60, bro.
So when are the Pauls gonna actually fight like boxers?
Never.
Like
They don't need to.
modern.
Why would you bother? You're getting 30 million to fight nobodies and has
So they're not big enough on their own where they couldn't just draw based on their own.
no, they're going to continue
Stardom?
doing this till they're probably for 5 more years. When they hit 33 to 35, they're going to be like, "Oh, I'm old now," and then you do exhibitions after they never fought. Dude, tell me I'm wrong.
No, they might. It's probably
Judge
true.
my future. They're going to make $200 million fighting old has-beens MMA. And I'm not saying I could do better.
Yep.
This is not
YouTube
an
that
ego
fuck-
thing for me. I'm just telling you guys fucking facts. Like,
Who are the ones
I
that
know
were
for-
fighting KSI and those guys?
yeah, like whatever.
Like it's gonna be shit like that, right?
Yeah, it's all bullshit. How about Ryan Garcia right now? That dude is off his fucking rocker, but he looked really good in the Haney fight. He looked strong in that fight, boy.
Why is everybody concerned about his movement? Like
His
like
mental health, because he's
Yeah.
saying he's like on his Alex Jones took shrooms trip right now. He's like, I'm saving the children.
he's still going like that right now? Like
Bro.
so it's
No, he's wild. He was saying like picking random celebrity chicks and being like, I'm getting married to her. It's like, bro, what the fuck? I love Ryan Garcia. I think I've always been a fan of him just because
from
he-
boxing
all the-
or the whole character.
no, like boxing. Like he's always
Okay.
he's one of the fastest guys at his weight class, period.
Okay, so
And he's
is
got a
this,
great
is,
hook,
is-
But
okay,
he fails to adjust. He needs a better coach and his mind is not right.
okay,
Ryan
so let me
Garcia
ask,
could be a devastatingly all-timer if he had a better coach and expanded beyond his hook.
is this the real him, what we're seeing, or is this like some kind
No.
of show?
No, he's on drugs.
He's
100%.
he's abusing a substance.
100%, dude. And I know he's already admitted he blazes. I know multiple
Yeah, but
people.
that's not responsible for most of that behavior.
100% it is, dude.
Just weed?
And if you smoke enough weed in a short I've seen this both as a medic.
Well, people
and
are
in my
saying he's a
personal life.
schizophrenic. He's bipolar.
Yes. Do you understand what happens when you smoke a lot of weed? You become schizophrenic.
With those issues, you're saying?
No, with no issues, you become. I know a person. I won't say who it is. Someone very close to my life was like a regular weed smoker, smart, intelligent person, owned a business.
Are we talking about they blaze like once a day?
That's what they did. But then they had a weekend where they turned,
Like
and they
12
went hard,
blunts in a day.
whatever. They literally were like running around naked fighting cops for days, almost lost everything. Got 5150 committed. And also, I was a medic, bro. When I was a firefighter, like I've responded on calls to weed where dudes were acting like they were on glass and other shit. Like I've firsthand seen weed make some people legit freaking crazy. Like 100% it does.
That ain't
dude.
regular weed, dog.
Dude, it is. Like I'm telling you,
That's
it's
wild.
It hits people different, bro. It hits people.
You don't
different.
think it's that synthetic stuff that people were on? Remember
No,
that?
because
back
I
in the
know at
day?
least in my case, the dude bought it at the dispensary, like through
Oh,
all
so it
the
was legit.
yeah, like no street shit, bro.
That's the
like,
first thing I thought of. It must be laced with something. It's got them
No, it's
acting
not
crazy.
laced. I'm telling you, like
Like you
and I've
remember when
seen
people
this-
used to dip that shit in
yeah,
embalming fluid and all that?
90s were a different world. Like we grew up where you had everything from swag to chronic, and it was like whatever. Like, and I didn't even mess with that stuff because I tried that stuff once and it almost gave me a heart attack. I'm like, never again. But like, it definitely affects people in some like crazy ways for sure.
So is his in the case of Garcia, is this the point of no return? Is
No,
this something
I think he's gonna get it together because somebody's gonna come along that cares about him and be like, you gotta stop this shit. Not only are you gonna cost us millions of dollars,
right?
because he's athletic. If I don't care if you're a
He's
hater,
a cash cow if you think about it, right?
he's good looking dude. In
So
his
he can be
prime.
marketed, right?
He's
Yeah.
got great social media ability when he's not being retarded. And he's one of the fastest fighters at his weight class. If he changed up his style just a little bit, he would be dominant.
What do you want to see him become?
I want him to be successful because I'm a fan, but he's not. I don't know if it's the coach, the people he's around. He just needs to tweak some things and he could be one of the greats. I really believe that. His speed is unbelievable for his size. And that's one thing. You can say he's soft, pretty boy. He's got all that shit. A lot of stuff Oscar had, right?
Hey, did he
But-
cut to get to this last fight weight? Or
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's why he came in over and he lost money. He had to pay because he came in over. So
yeah,
like,
he probably lost like 60% of his purse or something.
no, they were winning. So like I think the weigh-in was 142 and he was 144 and a half. Maybe I'm mistaken.
So
But
he
was
needed to get like one more pound.
But he walks around at 170.
Holy shit.
Ryan
That's a
Garcia,
lot.
because he's taller, bro. He's taller.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like 5'9",
But that's a lot of
5'10",
weight
like,
to cut, man.
yeah. So he walks around at like 170 and he cuts to 145, 150 when he fights.
It's not an easy cut.
No, fuck no, dude. Like at all. I wouldn't want to be part of that. Like
20 pounds is a pretty good sized cut. So
That's
he
a
was
crazy-
doing,
yeah.
wow.
So he had to cut over 20, cut it by 2.5. And so the last fight before that, he came in over. And the fight before that, they had a no rehydration clause when he lost to Tank.
Like no IV.
Yeah,
that
remember
type
when
of deal?
Tank lost?
Yeah.
Or when he lost to Tank?
Uh-huh.
He had to cut way down and there was no way to come back the way they had it. So like he had to maintain that weight to the fight. And he was literally 25 pounds under his walking weight.
They're more prone to concussion. They're more prone to knockouts. Like it's
Everything. You have
horrible.
well, your endurance, dude.
Got no
if
tank,
you're
yeah.
dehydrated,
Yeah.
your pulse skyrockets. So all your glucose, all your AST, everything in your body depletes quickly when you're dehydrated. Like that's just science.
He's tough as nails, man. I'll give him credit, bro. Yeah, that dude is
So,
tough.
The problem is he's good looking, no homo, no diddy, but like he's good looking. So people are like, oh, if you're good looking, you're soft. But Oscar De La Hoya is the same way, right? Good looking dude. Everybody shit on him.
And
But he's
Oscar's kind of
he's a badass.
He's kind of suspect, bro.
No, he's fruity as fuck. But I'm just saying, like, I don't care. My point is, can you fight or not?
Yeah, that boy was good. He was great.
Oscar
Yeah.
is one of the greats, bro. Like he's fucking.
I mean, I
crazy as shit,
still to
but
this
he's one of the
day,
great
I still
fighters.
to this day think he beat Mayweather. I mean, I watched those rounds, bro.
I think when I was watching, I had him ahead. Also, when I watched that fight live, I think so. But that's the problem with that's the knock on boxing. You're never going to get like a completely fair. Everything's subjective.
Unless somebody gets knocked out.
If they brought AI, some kind of AI scoring to boxing,
just to standardize the scoring,
and then unified the belts to like,
then you have a legitimate league, right?
Then there's no bullshit. You're getting judged fairly. You're getting belts fairly. You're getting titles and ranks fairly. Then it matters, and I think that would do wonders for the sport, especially in a time when we have CTE and people are.
But then the narratives then the narratives can't be pushed, Mike.
Yeah, no, I get it.
They love pushing those narratives.
And there's all these Don King type promoters out there trying to suck the blood of freaking talent. Like, so.
Yeah, we could probably do an episode on boxing, history of boxing and shit. I do MMA too, bro. So I'm with you on a lot of those things.
We'll do a show on it.
Episode 3 of Chaos Theories in the books. Mike, thank you for being here. I'm Sneedles. You know, you guys got 1 full hour of our topics. We got a couple more episodes coming up here in May. It's the middle of the month, so we got 2 more episodes. We'll try to do the Sunday thing. We'll try to get you guys on a set schedule so you know what to expect. Life happens, but we are here, and we salute you guys. Thanks for being here, and Chuck for popping in on the live stream. We'll see you guys on the next episode.